yeah, heading into the weekend, had really good mindset, really looking forward to getting back in the car and had high hopes for the weekend. So I think that led into a good couple of test days before Thursday, you know, just getting familiar with the track again, and then Friday finished 4th, so half a tenth off my teammate, couple tenths off P1. Yeah, it was really good to be up near the front again, straight after summer break. I'd done plenty of preparation leading into the weekend, which allowed me to get in the car and just, you know, crack on from the start. But happy with the pace after such a long time off, and it was great to get back in the car. So headed out in the usual like team order. Had a bit of traffic, so had to manage that. Just decided to back right off, but that unfortunately meant I backed into other traffic. So then every 2 laps or so for the first 6 laps I had to back off. Got 2 more bankers in, and then was 4 tenths up on my lap, and fortunately the red flag came out. So it would have put me sort of 6th or 7th, but instead it was 15th, which was a real shame. But you know, I knew the pace was there, and just from then on in I was just trying to make up positions in the race. Race 1, it was mixed conditions. Got a decent start, given my grid box was pretty wet, but then headed into turn 1 on the inside, so the damp patch of the track, and another driver on the outside who pretty much just aimed for the apex and don't even know if they realised I did a full 360. But yeah, got spun around, which was a real shame, but sort of after that made up 1 spot. After turn 1, you know that people are as close as they're going to be, rather than if you got spun around lap 5 or something a lot more spread out. And it was just sort of get back onto the pack in front and then overtake one person and then see how many you can get done. Had to drive with 10-15 degrees of left lock going on a straight, which was a shame, but now I know how to drive with the steering bent. So, you know, you've got to take what you can out of it. Got a really good start, basically had launch control off the line, but then was like, started 12th up to 10th by the time we got to turn 1, then was on the outside, which is probably could have positioned myself slightly better. Then I was in the position where someone could just easily push me off, which they did. So I lost 3 spots there, and then ran wide at the old hairpin, so lost another 3. You know, I might have gained 2 and then given back 1 to make sure at least I get 1, rather than gaining 2 and then trying to gain another 1 and ending up off the track. And looked after the tyres, it was drying a bit, so kept cooling the wet tyres and made up 1 overtake towards the end, which was a nice overtake to get done and a good experience, but shame we couldn't have done it from 10th. Got another really good start, couldn't really do anything with it this time. Went for a move on another driver, couldn't quite get it done, and then just sat behind him for the rest of the race. When you're that far back, it's tricky, especially at a track like Donington. Hard to overtake. We'll need a race in dirty air going forwards for sure. So it's just trying to figure out how you can change the driving style mid-race to then sort out the car if the balance isn't quite right, or how you can stay out of the dirty air to get closer on the car in front, put pressure on them. You know, it is what it is. Difficult weekend, but you know, take lots of learnings from it, and 2 more minutes of qualifying could have changed the whole thing, but it is what it is. I think key takeaways from Donington was great pace. You know, had the pace in qualifying, just didn't get the opportunity to show it. Had the pace in testing in the dry, and especially coming off summer break, not being in the car for 5 weeks and then getting in the car and having that pace will be very encouraging taking into Brands. I think Brands, I mean, it's a real driver circuit, high speed, walls are close, you know, the occasional bump here and there. I think with the old school tracks you do have to be precise, but it helps you develop, because then when you go to a European circuit, it's like driving in paddocks. You've just got so much room around you. You always learn at those tracks. I'd say more so than like a nice open Formula 1 track, because you've got to be precise. You've got to structure the way you're going to attack a lap. But no, it's a really good track. Really looking forward to it. Don't get to drive on it often, so just got to enjoy it. But heading there with the same mindset I had in Donington about trying to get into that top 10 and just race well from there. I think the lack of testing would favour me, but you know, everyone's in the same boat, so it's just about who gets to know the circuit. We all know it vaguely because we've had a day there this year, but yeah, whoever can adapt the fastest to the conditions it's in and get comfortable with the car. I think just heading into the weekend, you just want to perform at your best and you get as many points as you can. If you perform really well, you get more points, obviously, which is what you want. And if I can get back into that top 10 in the championship, that'd be really nice. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Looking back on the season from Oulton Park, I mean, even from testing before that, I've developed massively as a driver, got lots of confidence in the car, learned so much about the car and the track, the way you change a car, the way you change your driving style. I mean, I'm just very happy with the progress I've made, people I've met, and you know, the team I've got around me have helped me massively. Some sort of big highlights / learning points would be Oulton racing in the wet, because that was, I don't think I've ever raced in something as wet as that, so that was an experience, but now, you know, I know how to do it. Fast forward to Europe, you know, racing at tracks like Spa, Hungary, Zandvoort, where I had very strong rounds, and the momentum I carried throughout those rounds, I'll definitely try to do further on in my career. And then a podium in Zandvoort, that tops it off really. Shame I couldn't get the win, but you know I'm there in terms of pace, and even Hungary with the most points I've scored on a weekend so far. So hopefully top that at Brands. But yeah, I think just, you know, the consistency throughout that weekend was really strong. We've had some funny moments in the truck with my teammates and the team around, mechanics, engineers and things like that. Yeah, they've been hilarious. But then also like working alongside David Brabham, we've had some fun moments as well. And you know, he's taught me so much. Yeah, I'm really grateful for that. I think I've had like a good team around me, both the race team and the team off track. You know, just learned from everyone, whether it's teammates in the truck or, you know, driver coaches and engineers, mechanics about the car. But no, I've just learned from everyone, and it's definitely developed me a lot more. If I look back at myself from the end of last year when I started testing GB3 to now, I know a hell of a lot more, and definitely made me a better driver.